Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to give you an overview of this article here, this case here. It is kind of long, it is kind of convoluted, so please do bear with me. I'm also going to play a video for about a minute. I'll do that after I give you an overview. But let's start off with the overview. First off, you're looking at a guy that you may recognize. His name is Jadon Hayden, this guy here, and he was involved in a very serious incident that occurred May 2020. And we were all shocked and disgusted. The case went viral, I'll say. It was massive global news at the time. And we were all disgusted. We saw the images and we also saw a video. I am going to play a very short excerpt of that video. The video that we saw back in May 2020 was of this, I'll say scumbag, and you may object to that, but this scumbag here, Jadon Hayden, beating a 75-year-old man within a nursing home. So we saw that. We saw the videos. We saw the video we were able to watch because the scumbag recorded himself doing it. So that's what happened, and the victim, the 75-year-old, his name was Norman Bledsoe. He was 75 years of age, and I should let you know that this happened in a nursing home in Detroit, Michigan. And we saw the video, and within that video, we saw this 20-year-old at the time, Jadon Hayden, unleash multiple punches, a barrage of punches at the elderly man, Norman Bledsoe, and Norman was completely incapable of defending himself. He was bedridden. He was lying in bed, and then this attack happened. He's not even able to, defend himself in any way. He can't move away. He's not able to shield, to put his arms up to shield the punches. He can't do anything. And he gets beaten by this guy. We were all absolutely disgusted. 2 months after the incident, Norman tragically died. So that's what happened. Also, what happened was the scumbag stole the elderly man's credit cards. I'm not sure if he stole the cash that we see in the photo there, but certainly he stole the credit cards, and he told the authorities that it was an accident, that Norman fell out of the bed. It had nothing to do with Jadon. So thankfully, Jadon, the scumbag, did record the full incident on video on his mobile phone, and so we all knew that he was utterly guilty. So why are we looking at this situation today? Well, the reason is because he's had his charges dropped. He's had his charges dropped. So if we look at the headline, Michigan man who brutally assaulted a senior in a nursing home has his charges dropped. And when I read that, I was, immediately my knee-jerk reaction was, what the heck? That's crazy. That's sick. Why have the authorities seen fit to drop the charges? We know the guy's guilty. We saw it on video. It was a heinous, vicious, brutal attack. Again, 2 months later, tragically, the victim died. We're not 100% sure if the death of Norman Bledsoe is directly related to the beating. But, we were all extremely angry about this. The article gives us some level of reasoning, quite a bit of a level of reasoning, as to why it's justified that the charges are dropped. So I'm going to let you know about that, and perhaps you can tell me what you think about the whole situation. So in essence, the guy, Jadon Hayden, is autistic. Born autistic, I think, or he was diagnosed, is that right? Forgive me if I've got that wrong. Autism, that's at birth, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. Anyhow, so he was diagnosed as autistic when he was a child, and further to that, he was a schizophrenic. He had been diagnosed as being a schizophrenic. And further to that, he was claiming to his father that he was hearing voices. And seemingly the appropriate term is that he was in crisis mode during this period. Now, one question you might have is, why the heck was he in the nursing home? Okay, so I'll tell you why. He was placed in the nursing home because he was recovering from COVID-19. And in May 2020, the politicians, the authorities, let me tell you who it is, Governor Gretchen Whitmer allowed nursing homes to accept those people that were recovering from COVID-19. So that's what happened. He was placed into the nursing home because he was recovering from COVID-19. And further, he was sharing a room with one of the patients, with one of the residents, rather, within the nursing home, with it, and that was Norman. So he was placed in there. He was 20 years of age at the time, autistic, suffering from schizophrenia, suffering delusions, hearing voices. Apparently, the correct term is he was in crisis mode, and he was placed by the government, by Governor Gretchen Whitmer's rulings, placed to share a room with an elderly patient within a nursing home. Utter craziness. So that's what the situation was, and the situation now is that he's been deemed incompetent to face trial due to his mental health issues, and he is now residing in a psychiatric hospital in Kalamazoo. Now, we don't know the full details of his residency within the psychiatric hospital. However, the article does tell us that he's not free to come and go. He's not able to leave as and when he pleases from the facility. We don't know the full details of how restricted he is within the facility, but we do know that the charges have been dropped because he's been deemed mentally incompetent to face trial. I'm not sure if that last part is quite correct, but certainly mentally incompetent to be processed by the judicial system. I guess that would be the right term. But he is placed within a psychiatric hospital. As I said, I believe at the beginning, we're going to have a look at a video, and I'm just gearing up to showing you that in just a quick moment. But I'm just going to mention about Jadon's father, and we will see him speak in the video that I play. Jadon's father is very unhappy about this whole situation. He believes that Jadon should never have been placed in the hospital, and he believes that he shouldn't face going to jail because it would only further exacerbate his issues. And the father has basically said, look, this is all the fault of the authorities at the behest of Governor Gretchen Whitmer, or Gretchen Whitmer's rulings or such, to place somebody completely unfit to stay within a nursing home. So let's move over to watch this video. So we'll start here.
The charges against Jadon Hayden were dropped, and he may never stand trial in the beating of Norman Bledsoe after being deemed incompetent. Common sense would tell him that, this young man is in crisis. Why should you put him in a nursing home around elderly people? His son is the young man who launched a violent assault against 75-year-old Norman Bledsoe inside the Westwood Nursing Home on Detroit's West Side. Jadon Hayden had been facing 2 counts of assault with intent to do great bodily harm. Those charges recently dropped after a psychiatrist found Hayden to be incompetent.
Technically without prejudice, meaning that the charges could come back. However, Jadon's condition is not going to change very much.
Jadon Hayden's father says Jadon was a little boy when he was diagnosed with autism and later schizophrenia. And in May 2020, he called 911 himself. I talked to him, and he said he was hearing voices, and he was anxious, and he felt like somebody was trying to kill him. So he was in crisis mode. Hayden was taken to the University of Michigan.
So there we go. Really, there's the full article. There's the full situation. It is odd, a little bit convoluted, perhaps a little bit controversial, perhaps. My feeling is I kind of side with the father here. I do side with the father. I don't feel that Jadon has been given a pass. I don't think he's getting away with this scot-free, as it were. He is staying within a psychiatric hospital. It's still possible that at some point he may face criminal charges, if I understand correctly. However, from what we've seen in that little excerpt there, the professionals do believe that his mental condition isn't about to be resolved anytime soon. Basically, it's never going to be resolved. He's suffering from severe mental issues, including schizophrenia, autism, and with that, a jail is not the right environment for him. It's not going to help him. It's not really going to help society. And perhaps, I guess we could say, some could say at least, that it would be unjust to put him in a jail in an environment which he's just not going to be able to cope with. Am I right in saying that? Yeah, I mean, that's my feeling. I'm not really articulating what I think particularly well, but I do sympathize. This is genuine mental illness, and where there is genuine mental illness, I believe the laws do have to take that into account. The judicial system does have to take that into account. The yeah, so that's what's happened. I guess I'm going to wrap things up at this point. Have I done a half decent job? I think I've done a half decent job, not a great job of covering this, but half decent. If you agree, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Check out some of the other videos that I have on the channel, and take care.